Right. Okay, guys. Good evening and welcome back. Hope you guys can hear me properly. I'm audible to you guys, right? Okay. So let's start the class. Today, first of all, I think we haven't discussed the answers of the quiz. I gave you 32 MCQs. Can you remember? Right. So today I'm going to discuss the answers with you first. Then we can go to the other things, right? And just remember again, I'm reminding this Thursday I'm going to start the new lesson. uh, you know Dual impact of transaction, right? Okay, easy, clear to you guys, right? So I'm going to do the dual impact of transaction, right? uh, so make sure to take the printout of the tude. It's already available in the class tudes and books portal, right? Make sure to take a printout of for next Thursday, right? Okay, right. So this is the quiz I gave you. Let's start with the question number 1, right? If time permits, let's go to the reduction to accounting tutorial other questions, right? So first one, what is the primary difference between asset and liabilities? Primary difference, huh? Assets means things belongs to the business. Liability means payables of the business. Am I clear to you guys? Right? Okay, dude. Assets are always more valuable than liabilities. No, we can't take like that. Asset represent what company owns, IT. Liability represent what a company owes. Given tiyanaga. That is the main difference. Understand? Right? Asset and liabilities are the same thing in accounting. No, those are two different things. Incorrect. Liabilities are what a company owns. Assets are what is owned. No, it should be different. So the answer is B. We can go with the answer number B. How do you calculate equity in a business? Equity. Assets equal equity plus liability. Assets equal equity plus liability. So if we can calculate equity, we can take liability to this side. So assets minus liability is the equity. Understand? Right? So equity equal total assets minus total liabilities. We can go with the answer number B. We can go with the answer number B. Question number 3. Select the answer with current assets. What is the term called current assets? Can anyone tell me? Current assets. Any answer? I want you answers. Hello. Where are the others? Litum, Kamal, Shabir, Ilan. What is the term called current assets? Yes. Yes, I. Current assets. Hello.
Are expected to be used for 12 months.
Assets which expect to use or convert into cash or outflow from the business within next 12 months. Understand? Right? Let's see. Building is a non-current assets which we expect to use more than 12 months. Business building is we are not expecting to sell it quickly. Understand? We expect to use it more than 12 months. Creditors are liabilities. You can the one who gave their stocks on credit basis. Cash balance is a current assets. Bank balance, current assets. Receivable income, current assets. We can't go with the answer A since there are building and creditors. B, bank balance, current assets, because bank balance means money available in the bank. Is a current. By day to day it's changing, balance changing. If today balance is 12,000, some tomorrow balance can be 12,500. Can you hear me, guys? Which means balance changing daily. If the Balance is not constant, changing, it is a current asset. Understand? Right? So, cash balance, current assets change, it's changing daily. Long term fixed deposit, non current assets. Why? Fixed deposit is assets, long term means non current, more than 12 months. Payable expenses, liabilities, which means expenses we haven't paid. Stocks, current assets. Not stock J, it's TOK, right? So it is a current asset we can't go with because there are long term fixed deposit and payable expense. Stocks, debtors, assets, current assets, stocks, current assets, cash balance, current assets, equipment, non-current assets, land, non-current assets. So we can't go with the answer. Receivable income, current assets, cash balance, current assets, stocks, current assets, debtors, current assets, short-term fixed deposit, current assets. So the answer is D. D. Question number 4. Someone started the business investing 500,000 cash, 400,000 motor vehicle. During the year, someone invested further 100,000 cash. Also, someone withdrew 5,000 stocks and 10,000 cash from the business. Through the period, business has earned 50,000 profit. Calculate the closing equity, right? So I told you how to calculate the closing equity, right? If there's any concerns, send to the chat box. Can you hear me, guys? Yamming in on video on karangin, right? If there is any concerns, send it to the chat box, right? Let's see. So I'm going to calculate it, right? Now you know I told you closing equity equal how we calculate closing equity. Opening equity. Opening equity in another word we call as what? Capital. Can you remember, guys? To that we add additional capital. From that we deduct borrowings. To that we add income minus expenses. Oh, we can, this is add net profit. Clear, you guys? Right? Someone started a business investing 500,000 cash, 400,000 motor vehicle. Initial investment 500,000 plus 400,000, that is the capital, owner's beginning equity. Things owner invested to the business at the beginning, that is the term called capital. Oh, last year equity is the this year capital. During the year, someone further invested 100,000 cash, so that is additional capital, 100,000 cash. Further, when owner further invested to the business, owner's closing ownership increases. That's why we add it. Also, someone withdrew 5,000 stocks and 10,000 cash. When owner withdrew something from the business, owner's closing equity decreases. So two things owner withdrew by the business, 5,000 and 10,000. Right? Throughout the period, business has earned 50,000 profit. Instead of adding income or minus expenses, we can totally add the net profit. Can you hear me? Right? So then we can calculate the closing equity by taking this one in here, 900,000 plus 100,000 minus 15,000 plus 50,000. Can anyone tell me the answer? 10 lakhs, right? So from 10 lakhs, we deduct 15, right? Then we add 50. 1035. 1035,000. Any answer like that? Yes, it's B. Write the workings. Balabalinnepa, write the workings. Make sure to write the workings. Passe therunne anammananne. Write this is question number 4. And when you are writing the answers, write the workings as well. Right? All good? Question number 5. Select the answer which includes similar characteristics of assets and liabilities. Similar characteristics. What are the two characteristics? Similar characteristics available in asset and liability. Only one thing. Past tense arose as a result of past transaction. Can you hear me, guys? Other two things are totally different. So arose as a result of past transaction is the similar characteristic. So we can write the answer number A. Question number 6. This is also similar to that. Can you write this and raise your hands? Then I can erase. Can you write it and raise your hands? Then I can erase. Faster, huh? Don't do other things. Video on කරන්න නැති අයට මම දැන් ඉදිරියේදී action එකක් ගන්නවා ඈ. You can long term you can't stay like this, huh? Again, you can't stay like a ghost. You can leave from the class, huh? I don't want you. If you need, I can refund your money. You can go, right? So I'll give you only few another days, right? I'll give you only another like 2-3 weeks. ආයි මම මොකද මම වීඩියෝ on කරන්න නැති යාගේ නම් මට මතකයි. කියන්නේ. Right? I'm not repeating again and again. Okay? නෑ නෑ. කියන්නේ හැමතිස්සෙම ඉන්නේ නැති අය නෙමෙයි මම කියන්නේ long term කොච්චර කිව්වත් කරන්න නැති අය don't come to the classes, huh? Okay. From next month onward. So I'm removing you from the class, right? මේ හැමදාම chat එකට දාන්න cam එක වැඩ නැහැ. මනම් එක සුරංගනා කතායි online class වෙනවා නම් cam එකක් ගන්න ඕනේ ගුරු නිවස. right? නැත්තම් cam ඒව නැතුව අනම්මනන් නැතුව LMS නැතුව WhatsApp එකේ link එක දාලා WhatsApp එකේ වීඩියෝ දාලා WhatsApp එකට note දාලා tune දාන අන්තයක් හොයාගෙන යන්න. අදිස්සියේ ඔයාට පාඩමක් බලන්න වුණා WhatsApp එකට දාන වීඩියෝ WhatsApp එක reset වුණොත් I think ඔයාට වීඩියෝ හොයාගන්නත් බෑ. Understand? Right? ඒ වගේම සමහර ක්ලාස් වල වීඩියෝ වලටත් වෙනම ගාණක් ගන්න. Okay, no issue. So what I want to tell you, I'm not giving you many, only further 1 or 2 week. I අවුරුණා මට දැන් මතකයි මම දන්නවා දැන් මොකද සති ගණන් තිස්සේ මාත් එක්ක. Right? I'll give you only 2-3 weeks. Fix the camera or come to the class, or you can find another class. All right? Okay, all done. Number 6. Right. 2024 January 1st, asset 500,000, liabilities 200,000. Right? July 1st and November 15th, owner has taken 20,000 twice. Twice වෙන්න ඕනේ. C කියන්නේ මේ CE වෙන්න ඕනේ. දෙපාරක් කරන්න. Right? The owner further invested 70,000 cash and 10,000 stocks on September 14. Calculate the equity as at 31st December 2024. They are asking about the closing equity. Number 6. When we are calculating the opening equity, there is no information, but opening assets and liability have been given. So once we deduct opening assets and liability, we can calculate the opening equity or the capital. Easy creative scenario. Assets minus liabilities. Right? So owner has taken 20,000 twice, which means drawings there are 20,000 into 2. දෙපාරක් 20000 ගානේ අරන් ගිහින්. Right? Further invested 70,000 cash and 10,000 stocks. Additional capital 70,000 and 10,000. Right? Okay. Seems there is no any profit in the business, no income, no expense. No net profit. Right? In here 300,000, 80,000 minus 40,000. Can you calculate and tell me? 300 plus 80, 380 minus 40, 340,000. The answer is 340,000. Any answer like that? D. D. Which of the followings are non-current assets? Non-current assets, which means assets which we expect to use more than 12 months. Let's see. Cash in hand, current assets. Bank loan, non-current liability. Trade receivable, which means debtors. Trade receivable කියන්නේ debtors කට කියන තව නමක්. ඕනනම් දන්නේ නැත්නම් ලියා ගන්න. Underline කරලා debtors ලට කියන තව නමක් තමයි trade receivables කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? It is another word for debtors. Trade receivables. Right? So it is a current assets. Trade payables, current liability. Furniture, non-current assets. Bank overdraft, current liability. Motor vehicle equipment building, all three are non-current assets. So the answer is C. Inventory, current asset. Cash at bank, current assets. Capital, equity. What is the trade debtors? What is trade debtor receivables or debtors? කවුද ළමයි debtors කියන්නේ? අපෙන් stocks credit basis අරන් ගියා. හරි නේද? Right? Let's see the answer like that. The amount the business owed to the customers. Owe means liable. No, business is never liable for customers. Understand? Business only liable for suppliers. The amount a supply of goods owned to the business, the amount customer owes to the business. That is the answer. Customer owes to the business. What is trade payable or creditors? The amount the business owes to customers, the amount customer owes to the business, the amount business owes to the supplier of goods. That is the answer, correct? Right? Supplier means අපිට stock credit basis දුන්නා. Right? The amount of supplier goods off to the business. Suppliers the business එකට off නෑ ළම. ගෙවන්න නෑ. The answer is C. Easy. මේකෙන් CNC ගන්න බෑ කියන්නේ බාන්න. ඒතර ඔක්කොම කියලා දී. Which one is not a liability? Bank loan liability, payable expense liability, bank overdraft liability. මං කිව්වා bank overdraft ගැනත් අපි අර මං කිව්වේ කියන්නේ remember in the current accounts we can issue checks more than the bank balance. Think the available balance is 50,000. You issue a check 70,000. When that person comes to the bank, my bank need to give 70,000 to that person, but my available balance is 50,000. My bank give additional 20,000 from the bank money and totally pay 20,000 to that customer. Understand? Oh, sorry, supply. Customers are suppliers or creditors. So, a bank, it's only for the current accounts, not for the savings. It is a liability to the business. What is the amount taken out by the owner from the business for his personal use known as? Can anyone tell me what is the answer? I want the answers. Unmute and tell me.
Drawings.
Drawings, very good. The answer is D. Right. Electricity belongs to which accounting element? Any answer? Expense, because it is because of the daily business operation, it is a payment, so it is expense. B. Interest paid on bank loan belongs. Sorry?
Liability.
Bank loan is liability. Bank loan interest? Expense. Now think, you have obtained 100,000 bank loan. ඔයා bank loan එකක් ගත්තාම එකපාර bank වල දඩාස් කාලා සල්ලි ඔක්කොම ගිහිල්ලා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. සමහර නේදලම. right? ගත්ත එකෙන් ටික ටික තමයි ඔයා ගිහිල්ලා දෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඔයා think ඔයා monthly installment wise ගෙවද්දි බැංකුව ඔයාගෙන් ඔක්කොම charge කරලා 180. අවුරුදු 5ක් යද්දි ඔයා ගෙවල ඉවර වෙද්දි බැංකුවට ගෙවලා තිනවා totally 180. Can you hear me guys? Right? අවුරුදු දෙකක් යද්දි කියලා this 80,000 is addition payment. මොකද ඔයාට බැංකුවෙන් හම්බුනේ 180. ඔයා installment wise ටික ටික ගෙවද්දි බැංකුව ඔයාගෙන් interest එකකුත් charge කරලා totally you have been paid 180. This additional 80,000 we call as what? Expense. Clear to you guys? Right? Expense. So because it's not the liability only this 100,000. Right? So the answer is expense D. Purchase belongs to which accounting element? Yes, purchase. Expense. Stocks are assets, but I told you in the dual impact of transaction lesson, when stocks are purchasing, we concern as expense. Stock sales, we concern an income. So from sales, we can deduct the purchases, then we can calculate stock profit. Understand? Right? Because of that, stocks purchases belongs to expenses. The answer is C. Liability expected to be paid in less than 1 year name as what? Any answer? Hello?
Current liabilities.
Current liabilities. Very good. Answer A. Asset a business expect to use for more than 1 year name as.
Current asset.
More than 1 year.
Non-current asset.
Non-current assets. See, if any asset we expect to use more than 1 year, it is a non-current asset. Gamming in on it. Heno Nilam. The mung gamming in on a Uland gamming in America one now. Right? Right. Next one. 17. Which accounting element encompasses losses, outflows, cost related to the business, everyday operations? Business के වැඩ නිසා losses cost out expenses daily වැඩ නිසා business එක ගෙවෙන දේවල් ඒවා යන්නේ expenses. Then me next week ඉඳන් accounting equation questions කරනවා. Next week I'm going to give you 50 MCQs from accounting equation lesson. Right? Arre? Make sure to study and count. Send me a thumbs up. Not only accounting equation, then කලින් පාඩම් දෙක 4 and 5 2 lessons. Understood? පාඩම් කරලා වරින් එන්න නම් එපා නේ. Right. 18. මේ සැරේ නම් දෙන්නේ දුමින් යන්නේ. MCQ වුණාට right? Transaction 15ක් දීලා අහනවා accounting equation එකේ total assets කීයද? හොඳයි නේද? Right? මම දෙනවා මෙහෙම. This is the accounting equation 15th assets 150,000 liability 30,000 right and equity rest of the thing which means 120,000. Below are the transactions occurred in the business. Kila transaction 10ක්. After the above transactions, what is the total of the assets? How much is the total of assets? Your transaction 10 කොලයක් කරා මේ record කරලා අන්තිමට total balance එක calculate කරලා answer එක select කරන්න. Clear to you? Right? Kind of a second paper question. Understand? Right? So make sure to study and come next Tuesday. Right? Okay. ඔයාට හොඳක් කරන්න. ඒතකොට එක්සෑම් එකේදී පාඩම් කෙරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉන්න නැතුව ඉන්න එපා මම ලිස්ට් එක ගන්නවා. ඉන්න නැතුව ඉන්න ඉතින් I don't know I කියලා දැන් සාමාන්‍ය ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ පේපර් ක්ලාස් එකේ වීඩියෝස් බලන්න නැත් එක ඔක්කොම 25ක් I think nearly 30ක් විතර ඉන්නවා. 30ක් මේකත් එක්ක. වීඩියෝ බලලා පාඩම් කරලා එන්නේ. ඔයාටම තමයි හොඳ එක්සෑම්. Right? Okay. Right. Let's see. Which of the following is a non-current liability? Non-current liability. Non-current liability means what? Liability assets used by the business for several years. It is a non-current asset. Asset expect to convert into cash within 12 months. Current assets. Clear? Obligation to be settled within 12 months. Liability is not requiring settle within 12 months. මාස 12ක් වෙනකන් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියලානේ ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. Obligations to be settled 12 months, within 12 months. Liabilities not requirement settled within 12 months. මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් අවුල්. දැන් දෙකේ. Just correct it. Non-current liability means liabilities, obligations can be settled, not within, by taking more than, more than 12 months. ටියුට් එකේ print out එකක් නැති අය ලියාගෙනම දාන්න. C එක දාලා C එකක් දැන් C දැන් ඒ කියන්නේ මාස 12ක නිකන් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියලා නෑ. We need to settle, but fully settlement will take more than 12 months. Easy clear to you guys. Right? Liabilities can be.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, එතකොට ඉවරයි. answer D එක කරපෙන්නේ නැද්ද?
Liabilities not requiring settlement are not requiring settlement within 12 months. Not requiring settlement within 12 months. ඒකත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. So ISO like this. මෙහෙමයි. ඉස්සරහ මාස 12 යනකම් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියලා නෑ. ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි fully settle කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Easy clear to you guys. Right? Okay, we can go with D. Yeah. We can go with D. ISO like liabilities not require settle 12 months. මේක හැදුවද ඔයගොල්ලෝ? Sorry. Sorry. හැදුවා නම් I මෙහෙම හදන්න. සමා වෙන්න. Right? මගේ වැරද්ද. අර මගේ වැරද්ද මොකක්ද කියන වැරද්ද කරාම ඉස්කෝලේ කරන් තින්නේ. Sorry. Right? D, that is the answer. Sorry. Tanagana number. Right? D. Right. Make a home obligations to be settled within 12 months. Maybe simply මට කියන්න ඕනේ ඉස්සරහ මාස 12 යනකම් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියලා නෑ. ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි fully settlement එක takes more than 12 months. Clear? Right?
Sir, ඒක 18th එකට උත්තරේ.
Huh?
ඒක 18th එකට නේ උත්තරේ 19 සදාච.
මේක හරිනේ?
ඒකේ බර්ඩ් එකේ white board එකේ 19 question එකට දීලා.
Alright. 18 17 වලට D 18 වලට D නේද? Thank you. 19. What is the primary characteristics of current liability? Can anyone tell me? Current liability.
There are obligations to be settled within 12 months.
Obligations to be settled within 12 months. Yes. A. 20. Insurance is an example of
Equity.
insurance. අපි accounting equation එකේ ලියද්දි equity යටතේ තමයි ලියන්නේ. හැබැයි equity කියන්නේ equity යටතේ four things තියෙනවා. Capital, additional capital, drawings, income, expense. It is an expense. Insurance means expense. අර පටල ගන්න එපා. accounting equation එකේ තමයි ලියන්නේ. Equity plus liability. Insurance ගෙවද්දී දෙන 10,000 asset decrease, 10,000 equity decrease. හැබැයි අර accounting elements පහක් තියෙනවානේ, assets, liability, equity, income, expense. Can you hear me guys? Income and expenses also coming under equity. හැබැයි ඊළඟ පාඩේ ඉඳන් අපි පහ separate කරනවා. equity යටතේ තිබ්බට ඒක අයිති වෙන්නේ expense. Clear? So the answer is C. Insurance කියන්නේ payments because of the daily business operations. #21. Sweet candy sends bags of candies to a customer every day. Instead of collecting money every time the candies are delivered, Sweet Candy collects the money for all candies sold at the end of the month. This is cash transaction, credit transaction. What is that? Credit, because giving everything credit, collect cash later. Sophia is the owner of Awesome Burgers. She contributes her own computers to the business. This is what? Capital, expense, drawings, income. When owner invested things, it is capital. 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 Next one. As at 1st January 2024, equity of the business was 500,000. What is the requirement they are asking? Closing equity. Huh? Okay, I'm keeping the same thing. 23. 23. Right? Coming in only. Okay. Right. Opening equity 500,000. I'm applicable in these things. I'm applying these things in. During the year, business has earned 200,000 income. So income is 200. Right. Next one. Beared 80,000 expenses. So expenses are 80,000. Instead of giving net profit, they have given you income and expenses separate. Owner has invested 100,000 cash and 50,000 stocks. Clear to you guys? Right? Owner has invested 100,000 cash and 50,000 stocks, which means there is no any drawings from the business. Drawings නෑ කියලා තමයි පේන්නේ. So 500,000 plus 150,000 minus 0, 200,000 minus 80,000. Can anyone tell me the total? 500, 700. So 700, then 850, 850 minus 80, which means 770. The answer is 770. Any answer like that? It's B. B. The answer is B. ඊළඟ එක උත්තරේ කිව්වොත් වැඩ්ඩෙත් තමයි. Can you tell me the answer for 24? I'll give you 3 minutes. I want the answer for send it to the chat box as private. Everyone දාන්න බෑ. Answer for the question number 3. විනාඩි 3ක් දෙන්න. Sorry, answer for the question number 24. අබ්බලු. Finish it and raise your hands. 23 ලියලා raise hand එකක් දාන්න. 24 answer එක chat එකට දාන්න. I'll give you 5 minutes. Okay, take your time, no hurry. 5 minutes ම දෙනවා. Send it to the chat box. I want the answer to the chat box. Whiteboard එකේ තියෙනක ලියලා raise hand එකක් දාන්න. Any answer? ගමන් මට පොඩ්ඩක් බලලා කියන්න introduction to accounting tute එකේ අපි කරපු නැති questions මොනවද කියලා please can you check and tell me with your note. Introduction to accounting tute එකේ අපි කරපු නැති questions මට පොඩ්ඩක් බලලා කියන්න. right chat එකට දාලා තියෙනවා. Okay, different answers are there. බුදු අම්බෝ කික් කෙනාට එක එක answers. I got 730, 580, 580, 130, 500, 600. Let's see.
සර් ඔගේ ඉන්කම් එක 790යි 90යි කියන්නේ
130 නේද? 100. 600. 600. Let's see. Right. 24. 24. 1st January 2024, equity 700,000, which means now they are asking about January to December. Capital is 700,000. Yes. Right. Then after that, they have given you 31st December 2024, equity 800,000, closing equity 800,000. During the year, owner has made 50,000 drawings and invested 20,000 stocks to the business. Drawings 50,000. Additional capital 20,000. Right? Okay, guys. During the period, business has earned 730,000 income. How much was the expenses made from the business? Then profit එක දීලා නැහැ, income දීලා expense දීලා නැහැ. I'll write it as X. Clear to you guys? Right? ඒක මේ පැත්තේ තියලා අනිත් ඔක්කොම මම මෙහාට ගේනවා. 800,000 සමාන ලකුණේ මේ පැත්තේදී 700,000 වෙනවා, minus වෙනවා. plus 20 මේ පැත්තේදී minus 20 වෙනවා. plus minus 50 මේ පැත්තේදී plus 50,000. Right? Plus 170,000 සමාන ලකුණේ මෙහාට minus 130 equal minus 6. Right? minus 6. දැන් කියන්න බලන්න මේ ටික මේව කරලා total එක කීයද කියලා. We can take 800,000 minus 700,000, which means 100,000, minus 20 means 80,000, plus 50 means 130. 130 minus 730 means how much? Minus 600 equal minus 6. ඔයාලට maths වල කියලා දීලා තියෙනවා නේද minus කැපිලා යනවා කියලා. Can you remember guys? Right? එතකොට minus වල දෙකේ පැත්තෙම අයින් කරලා we can write x equal 600. So the answer is 600,000. ඒක දුන්නයි හරි. So what is the answer? D, right? D. This is just a mathematical part. Huh? Right. What are the elements? What are the elements which increase the equity? Yes. Income and additional capital. Can you remember, guys? So the answer is D. 26. When income received to the business, what will happen? We add it to the equity. Why? Because of profit increases. Understand? Right? We add it to equity since the net profit increases. So the answer is D. Right? 27. Select the answer which contain an income Owner invest money, it is not an income. Bank loan repayment, it is not an income. Paid rent, daily business operation, it is a payment expense. Receiving interest, daily business operationally, hambena deya, income. D. Right? The following items are related to the question. The answer which includes only assets only, debtors assets, furniture asset, investment asset, building asset, cash in hand asset. A, E, G, H, I. The answer is C. C. The answer includes liability only. Creditor, bank loan, bank overdraft. B, F, J. Its answer B. Gamming in no. ඉදිරෑනේ ළමයි. Can you hear me? Hello. මම මොකද සින්දුවක්වත් කියන්න දුන්නේ නැහැ වෙලා යන නිසා. සින්දුවක් කියන්න දෙන්නම් පස්සේ කැමති එක්කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් දාන්නනේ chat එකට. ඔයාලගේ සංගුණ දක්ෂතා එලි දක්වන්න කැමති අය ඉන්නවා. සමහරවන්ට පුළුවන් හයියෙන් hina වෙන්න හයියෙන් අඩන්න ඒත් කමන්න. නේද? ඌ කියන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ ඇරින්න ඕන දෙයක්. Next one. When business income means 600,000 and expense is 650,000. What is the situation of about net profit? Income 600,000, expense 650. Profit equal income minus expenses. I'll using thousands, I'll write it. Income 600,000, expense 650, which means there's a net loss 1,000 minus 50. There's a net loss 50. What will happen to equity? When there is a net loss, equity decreases. Can you remember, guys? Right? So the answer is C. 31. How to define income? Can anyone tell me? A, B, C, O, D. What is the answer? Hello. How to define income? A, B, C, O, D.
Equity except due to capital introduced by
Owner. Increase in equity except due to capital introduced by the owner. D. How to define expenses? Decrease in equity except due to drawings. A. Write all the answers and raise your hands. Write all the answers and raise your hands. මේ ටියුට් එකේ මට කරපු නැති questions කිව්වේ නෑ කවුරුත්. හරි නරකයි ඔය. මං අඩ නෑ දැන් හරියන්නේ නෑ. මේකේ මුකුත්ම කරේ නැද්ද ළම? nothing. මොන හරි කරා නේද? Seems nothing. I did the textbook things, but I just want to know whether I did the right. All done. Right. I think we didn't do anything, right? Yes, we need to do it. Right. All done. Are you okay with the quiz? Nothing neither. Okay, let's do this now. Cute questions, right? Metuka done. Popo done, right? Okay. So I'm going to end this recording and do another recording, right? Just wait.